Hey there, this is Michelle Pesco-Solido, and I wanted to do a video for you today. I think it's been a couple of days since I've done one for you, but I want to talk about probably the most common objection that you're going to hear when it comes to presenting your network marketing opportunity or your products to a prospect, and it's the money objection. It's, I don't have the money to join, or, oh, I'm going to get the money next week, or, oh, I'm really going to save up for this so I can join in a couple of weeks. Oh, I can't do it right now, but in a few months, I'll definitely be able to do it. Well, I want you to shift your mindset a little bit, and in your thought process, when you hear this, I want you to say to yourself, that's not true, okay? There must be some other reason as to why this person is giving me the money objection. Most network marketing companies, the buy-in is usually about $500 on average. Like in our particular company right now, we have a special going for $119 to get in. You know, we have higher levels, obviously. You probably have higher levels. You probably have specials that run within your network marketing company. So let's just talk in general terms of around a $500 buy-in. Or even a $100 buy-in, okay? Anything less than about, I want to say $1,000, but no, let's go less than about $500, okay? So I'm going to be speaking in terms of that. And I want you to challenge yourself to, really step back for a moment and look inside of yourself and ask yourself what's causing this objection to come up. So let's say I'm on the phone with John and he's asking me some questions about my opportunity, and I tell him a few things about it. I send him to the presentation, set up a follow-up meeting. I'm on the phone with him. He said, yeah, that looks great and all, but I just don't have the money. In my mind and in your mind, immediately, what should trigger is, that's a lie. 9 times out of 10, it's a lie, okay? I want you to understand that. And here's why. It could quite possibly be not your fault, but the conversation you had could be perfected a little better to avoid the conversation or the response of, I don't have any money. So how can you get around that? Well, let's just say you've talked to somebody about your opportunity, you answered their questions, they've watched the presentation, now you're talking to them and you want to ask them specific questions. What has you looking at getting into a home-based business? What has you looking at our opportunity? What has changed in your life that has you wanting to do a home-based business opportunity, or has you wanting to switch companies? Okay, you need to dig down and find out why. So your very first question needs to be why? Why are you doing this? What makes you think that this is an opportunity, for you to be able to achieve your why? So what is your why? We want to find out what that is, and when you can find out what that is first, before closing and asking them to join the opportunity, what you're doing there is you're getting the prospect to think about why they were initially curious, why their interest was piqued because of this opportunity. Why did they opt in? There had to be a reason, and most likely your prospect's reason is a couple of things. It could be, I'm just going to give you some examples I've heard. Well, my wife has been really ill and we have a lot of medical bills and I just want to get these things paid off. Or I'm so tired of working in the rat race, the 9-to-5 job. I spend 2 hours commuting to work, 2 hours coming home. I just don't have any time for my family. Or I really want to be able to send my kids to a good college and I just don't have the funds to do that right now. Or you know what, Michelle, I love the lifestyle. I see the lifestyle you guys are living and I want that. I want to spend more time with my family. I want to be able to travel the world. Michelle, I have a lot of debt and I'm so tired of being broke, all right? So you want to listen. You want to listen. You aren't just asking this question to your prospect just to get an answer and throw it off to the side. You want to listen. You want to genuinely, now remember, here's what I'm saying and listen carefully, genuinely ask the question because you genuinely want to hear the response. Because once you hear that response and you get to the, okay, this sounds like a great opportunity, and you get to the point of them signing up and they're like, I just don't have the money. Here's where I say they're not telling you the truth if they're saying that. There's something else holding them back, and you need to find out what that is. Ask your prospect, if money weren't an issue, would you join today? All right? If money weren't an issue, would you join today? Now, you may not get a straight answer, but 9 times out of 10, Somebody might come back after that and say, well, you know, I probably really need to talk to my wife. Well, I'm not really sure I can do this. Or, well, I'm not sure that I'm going to be any good at this. Or, I'm not, you know, my wife has a bad taste in her mouth. You know, my family and friends are so sick of me trying these things, and I'm kind of embarrassed to do it again. You'll find out that it's not really the money that's holding them back. Now, if it truly is the money, then their why is not big enough. And you need to recognize that. You need to recognize, because you've discovered what their why was, and you want to go back and reference that, and you want to say to Mr. Prospect, wait a second, okay, so you don't have the money, it's only $400, or it's only $100, or it's only $500. It's a small investment for you to get out of debt. It's a small investment for you to make, for you to be able to finally be able to live the lifestyle that you were just telling me about. It's a small investment for you to finally be able to send your kids to college, just like you were telling me you really wanted to be able to do. Now, Mr. Prospect, if you're telling me that you don't have the money, then you're also telling me that your why is really not that important. Think about it. You know, think about what I'm saying here to you, and how you can flip the tables and really, you know, kind of drive into the heart and help them passionately understand that, you know, investing in your business opportunity is a small investment to be able to reap the rewards of their why and their dreams and everything that they, you know, have wanted, and the whole reason why they came, and their curiosity was piqued to get it, to take a look at your opportunity. So you make sure you're digging deep to find out their whys very early on. So when that money objection comes to you, you can come back at them and say, you know what that's telling me, and don't take this wrong, is getting out of debt isn't worth it. I mean, getting out of debt isn't that big of a deal to you, because this is a small investment. This is the vehicle that could get you out of those troubles, can get you out of debt, can, you know, get you to where you can spend more time with your family. So when you're doing that for them, then you're opening up their eyes, and they might come back and say, you know what, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. And that is what I want. Great, Mr. Prospect. Now let's talk about how we can come up with that money. Then you can talk about creative ideas about what they can do. Hey, do you have any savings? Do you have any friends or family members that you could possibly borrow this from? And then we can help you recruit a couple of people in immediately so you can pay them back. Or do you have something in your house that you can sell? Maybe you still have some old books you can take to half-price books. Maybe you have an old washing machine sitting in your garage that you could actually sell on Craigslist. Or maybe you have some furniture in your house that you really don't need or you really don't use, and you could sell it on Craigslist. I know that couch is probably not worth $500, but maybe you have several pieces of furniture that you could put on Craigslist. Or maybe hold a garage sale. Or I tell you what, one time I had some gold laying around, and I took it down to one of the gold shops and melted it down and got $700 for my gold. I couldn't believe the price of gold. See, get creative. Get creative with your prospect. Take interest in. Don't put up the wall and think immediately that they say they don't have the money, that the conversation is over. It's not over. Because if you have made that initial connection with them, and you have actually with your heart resonated with their why, and took time to tell them that you understood it and you get it, and maybe you shared your own story, they're going to have a conversation with you to mastermind how they're going to get that money, if you have made them recognize that that why is worth the sacrifice of selling something around their house or coming up with the money. But I'm telling you, there's different scenarios here as to why somebody's going to use that money objection. I mean, one, it could be that there's really something else behind it. That's why you want to ask, if you had the money, would you join this opportunity today? You might get a different answer, okay? The other one would be that their why is just not that big enough, to sacrifice a couple $100 to change their life. All right? So I wanted to share this with you today. I hope you got a lot of value out of this. I hope that this helps you when you're talking on the phone to people and they give you that money objection. Just really think about what I've said here, that 9 times out of 10, not having the money is probably not really the issue. It's just they don't have that inner drive, that passion, or that want, or a big enough why to really want to succeed and want this bad enough. So that's all I have for you today. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.